Derlego coming in with Harris and 5. And the goaltender, Stanowski, was out to move it away. Howard Chuck down the ice. Hitting the line. Howard Chuck, beautiful! Scores! What a beautiful piece of work by this 18-year-old Dale Howard Chuck. Wow!
What a fantastic kid. Watch, he carries the puck down through center.
I've watched that clip 100 times. 100 times when the Jets didn't even exist. Clips like that and stories that I was told from my family were the only experience that I ever had with the Winnipeg Jets. See, I'm 20 years old. Up until the last 10 years, Winnipeg didn't have a team for me. It was memories and highlights and stories from old hockey legends and other players that played there, and just knowing the history that that team had and the city had, as being someone who goes there and has family who lives there, and the stories and what impact they left on the city. There isn't one other player other than maybe Teemu Selanne that I can think of that has left a bigger impact on the city of Winnipeg than Dale Hawerchuk has in the last how many years of hockey being played in Winnipeg. You see, I heard stories when I was a kid from my dad telling me the days of the WHA when he would go down to watch the Winnipeg Jets play, practice, skip school, take the bus down in Winnipeg with his brother and his friends from the neighborhood. Go down, watch Bobby Hall, and Bobby Hall would come and talk to them at the end of the practices. He'd get them to go on the ice, pick up pucks, give them sticks in return. He'd talk to them, be a nice person. I grew up on stories of learning about this team, this weird league that was separate from the NHL. And then they became part of the NHL, and that's where the story got interesting, because for the first time they weren't just some weird ragtag group of people trying European hockey and doing all these weird different things that Winnipeg did back in the day. I don't want to make this video too historical, but if you know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about. And the one thing that makes Hawerchuk stand out to me the most is the type of person he was and why he defines Winnipeg, in my opinion. Yeah, Winnipeg is in a way grimy, and a lot of people think that. People think Winnipeg has its problems with the law, and it does. People think it's got its issues with drugs and homeless people and all the other types of issues that a normal city will face in the 21st century. But there is something else about Winnipeg. Something about the friendliness that the people have. You know, friendly Manitoba is the saying, and I will say that is true to the most extent. But Dale Hawerchuk embodies what Winnipeg is as a city, and what Manitoba is as a province to me. Respectable, hard-working people. Dale Hawerchuk, on every team he ever played on, would find the role that he fit best in. Whether that be fighting, whether that be scoring, whether that be defensive playing, it didn't matter. He understood the value of playing as a team. And that is what makes hockey the greatest sport on this planet. Basketball, it's a one-man show. I don't care what anybody says. You can win a championship overnight, and it's called free agency. In football, team sport. Lots of players, a lot of different positions, a lot of small positions, but overall team connected. But in hockey, what makes hockey so special is that on every given night, a Brandon Tanev can score a hat trick. A Bobby Ryan can come back after being riddled with horrible things in his life and issues and personal issues and alcoholism, and come back and fight and get a hat trick in his first game back. There are stories like this within hockey that just are so human in nature that make him so special. And that's what Dale Hawerchuk was. And while I was on vacation while he passed, that's how I broke the news, I didn't know how to make a video on him. I didn't think I would, because I didn't want to be disrespectful. I didn't want to talk about a legend and have people be worried about it. Until I realized that Dale Hawerchuk, to me, as a legend he is, and me having met him and talked to him, is just a humble, standout guy. And I think that that's what we should really touch on and appreciate as fans of the Winnipeg Jets. And if you are old enough or a fan of Hawerchuk and have met him, you will understand what I'm talking about. A very kind person he was. He would always take the time to talk. I remember I met him a few years ago, well, not a few years ago now, longer than a few years ago. The first time I met Dale Hawerchuk, and the only time that I met Dale Hawerchuk, was at the Winnipeg Jets jersey reveal for the 2016 Heritage Classic. Excuse me if I got that year wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's when it was. And it was against Edmonton, and he was there in Portage, Maine, where he was signed as a rookie to unveil the jerseys and the roster. And after after the event had happened, I went over to the front of the barricade, I guess you could say, or the fence, and I tried to talk to Howard Chuck. I met a lot of players that day. I met Wheeler and I met some other players, but as someone who was from Vancouver, I never experienced to be around fans like this and to be near a Jet legend like this. This was insane for me. And a few years after this, I would have the experience of meeting Bobby Hall, and it would be a similar feeling that I had. There was just something humble about meeting these people that I had heard so much about in stories and about what they did for my people involved in my family, the happiness, how they brought people together, how people in my family would watch Howard Chuck and Hall, and as so many other people in Winnipeg and families in Winnipeg did, night in and night out, for years, watching Howard Chuck play, and the energy and the vibe that he brought to the city overall could never be replicated. And when you look at what Howard Chuck was, he had his fingers in everything, even the 2.0 version of our team. When we look at Howard Chuck, in my opinion, he's probably one of the most low-maintenance superstars the league has ever seen. And at the same time, he is responsible for coaching, developing, and even to the extent of getting drafted Mark Scheifele to the Winnipeg Jets organization in 2011. If it wasn't for Dale Hawerchuk coaching Mark Scheifele, guiding him, helping him become a better player, and telling Winnipeg, telling Mark Chipman about him, how good he could be, Chevy doesn't take the chance and picks him where he does. If you don't remember, and if you're not a Jets fan from back in the day, let me give you a little history update. Howard Chuck made that pick what it was, because if you don't remember, he wasn't supposed to go there, Scheifele. Winnipeg was basically, they were went after by a lot of people, becoming called stupid and idiot and all this stuff like that, because they listened to Howard Chuck and took a kid that no one had in the draft boards. And now who's laughing when we have one of the best centers in the league on an affordable contract, because we were told and guided by one of the most low-maintenance superstars of the league's history. A guy who loves the city of Winnipeg and was attached to it for the very end. The only time I ever got to see Howard Chuck play live was in the 2016, excuse me if I get that year wrong again, Heritage Classic game. That is when I saw Howard Chuck play for the first time, and I watched it live with my dad. And I'll never forget that experience, because for the one and only time, his generation of Jets and my generation of Jets were kind of connected again. And because of that, I thank Howard Chuck, because although this might have seemed everywhere, it's just my way of kind of respecting Dale Howard Chuck. He was, in a way, what made me a Jets fan. He is a big reason that I am a Jets fan. The stories that I heard about Howard Chuck, the way my dad described him, how we bonded watching clips of him and talking about him, watching the Canada Cup on my VHS when I was 8 years old that my dad had found on a Value Village or some cheap DVD or VHS rental place, and he'd found it for dirt cheap, and we watched it, spent hours looking over every game that they played, talking about the players, talking about Howard Chuck and how he was a Jet, my dad teaching me about him, watching the way that they played. There's so many elements to what Howard Chuck did and how much happiness he brought me in my life, even though I never was able to watch him, and how much of a relationship that he helped give my dad, and how much of a fan that he made me a hockey fan. And because of all of that, I'm going to wrap up this video with one simple thing to say. Dale Hawerchuk may not be the Wayne Gretzky. He may not have the accolades and the awards to go with it. But if there's one thing that Dale Hawerchuk should have, and have respected by every hockey fan, it is the way that he approached the game. Every player was respected in his eyes. The competition was the only thing that mattered, and he cared about winning and being a good teammate, something that every person in their life should strive to be, a teammate and a person. Because when we all face it, we're all teammates of somebody in our lives. Whether or not be your wife, girlfriend, your kids, work, you're always on a team. And it's important to be the best teammate that you can be in this life. And I think that Dale Hawerchuk is a prime example of how good of a person he was, how good of a person you can be on and off the ice, the impacts you can have on the city, and how you can affect generations and inspire generations, including people who have never saw you play like me. So to the family of the Hawerchuks, I want to give you my deepest condolences. And to Dale himself, I want to say rest in peace, and more importantly, thank you. Thank you for making me a fan of hockey. Thank you for making me a fan of the Winnipeg Jets. And more importantly, thank you for everything that you did for the game that I love and the city that I love. So thank you, Dale Hawerchuk. May you rest in peace.
Be inducted in the Hockey Hall of Fame. I played the game to win. One thing I understood, it was a team game, right from road hockey, whether it was 2 guys against 4. You had to figure out a plan, how we were going to be successful. And the same thing, you know, wherever I played, whether it's minor hockey or junior hockey, where do you fit in? What what does the team need from you? Is it goal scoring? Is it playmaking? Is it, you know, obviously you want to be that complete player, and everybody has their, you know, their strengths and their shortcomings, but you had to find what your niche needed to be for that team, and I always tried to find my niche on any team I played for, and that goes to the Canada Cup. You know, I didn't play a lot at first, but you know, whenever I got a shift, if I only got 4 or 5 shifts, it was going to be the best 4 or 5 shifts they ever seen, and you know, I think I tried to keep that that mental attitude all the time.